Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of MFO. Today I want to talk about Major League Fishing and the fact that, quite honestly, in my opinion, and I think a lot of yours, MLF has taken over the top spot when it comes to tournament organizations. Now, I know there's still a lot of negative opinions in general about tournament fishing, about tournament anglers, about, a lot of things there. But when you look at the three organizations, whether it's Bass, MLF, or the MPFL, I would guess that a majority of people would say that Major League Fishing has jumped to the top. And today, I've got 5 reasons that I believe that's happening. And what I've got to say here today, I think comes from not only firsthand experience, but also I think it's interesting that if you watch the progression of these 5 reasons that I'm going to give you, they build on each other. And so when one reason becomes a success, the next reason happens, and the third, and the fourth, and so on. So guys, stick around. We're going to talk about why Major League Fishing seems to be on the right track. Welcome back to Mark Fisher Outdoors, everybody. I'm Mark Fisher. Thanks for tuning in. Major League Fishing is moving in a very positive direction. And like I said, I've got 5 reasons that I believe this is happening. And the first reason, and remember what I said earlier, each reason kind of builds on the next, which makes it stronger and stronger. The very first reason that I have that I think of is they have a good product. Now, they currently have a good product. The BPT is catch, weigh, release. That is something that all anglers can get behind. In addition to the BPT, they now have the Team Series, which is very popular and brings a lot of things that viewers like. They like to see that banter on the boat. So that's a very popular thing. So we've got the BPT, the Team Series. The Invitationals is a way to work up to the BPT, but it brings in that traditional 5-fish limit type of tournament. And then you've got the Grassroots Toyota. So when you talk about the product, a good product. The number 2 reason is you take that good product that you're starting with, and they have responded to the forward-facing sonar question in a way that is taking in both sides. When you've got a polarizing issue, like it, don't have anybody in the middle kind of thing, the thing to do is be able to appeal to the center. And that is, hey, we're going to use it one period, we're going to use it one day, like they do right now. BBT uses it one period and off 2. Invitationals use it one day and off. Being able to see both sides of an issue and appeal to both is the right thing to do when it comes to running an organization where if you do it one way, you're going to alienate half, and if you do it the other, you're going to alienate the other half. So putting it together, that's the right decision. So that's the second reason, is that they've handled the forward-facing sonar issue in probably the best way that they could. Now, the third reason, in my opinion, and again, like I said, these things build on each other, because the BPT and the catch, weigh, release format is built for TV. And when I say TV, I'm talking internet, I'm talking about broadcast to viewers. What that's done is it's created anglers who have, over the years, gotten so used to being on camera that they start developing their own personalities. And so there are times when you look forward to certain people being on camera because you know what their persona is going to be on camera. They know when they're on camera, they know to talk a little bit and to let the viewers know how they're breaking down the water, how they're catching fish, talk instead of just focusing on the fish. And what this turns into is the fact that your anglers become another set of commentators. Yes, one organization might have Fat Cat Newton, another organization might have Dave Mercer, MLF has JT Kenny. But the point is, when you've got an angler in the boat who's breaking down how he's fishing, what his thought process is, why he's choosing a different lure, getting excited when he catches a fish, making those kinds of things. Now you've got additional color that's going on, which makes the product even more entertaining than it was before. And by the way, I don't want to get away from the fact that those years of experience of putting that TV program on, not only has it built anglers who are comfortable in front of the camera, but it's also built a very, very good quality TV type program where they've dealt with things like, how do we move from one camera to another? How do we shift when somebody's not catching fish to get other cameras in there? They've got experienced camera operators. They've figured out bugs in the wireless, system where they can use cell phone towers to transmit the signals. You don't have a lot of lost signal and things like that. So their experience is demonstrated in the quality of the TV program that they're putting out. So you got a good product, but because you've been doing it for so long, you're now establishing a good quality presentation of that product as well, which, like I said, extends not only from the quality of the TV work that's being done, the camera work that's being done, but also the fact that your anglers are more polished in presenting it. And that brings me to the fourth point, and that is that I really truly believe, and I can speak to this firsthand, that the organization really is, in my opinion, working with the anglers to kind of work parallel. And again, guys, I want to make this clear. I don't believe any organization works for the anglers. They have a job to do. Their job is to make money for their organization. But I believe that Major League Fishing is coming around to the fact that we're going to make more money if we can ride parallel to the anglers. They know that the anglers are part of them being successful. So they aren't going to do things that jeopardize their bottom line for the anglers, but they're willing to help the anglers as long as they're moving in a common direction. And guys, like I said, I have seen this personally. Not only is there a feeling that that's the case, but I've seen evidence of this, whether it be, situations like I had last month where I wasn't able to attend, whether I've seen payouts for the invitationals and how they, I'll just give an example here, just real quick. They told us that they were going to send a third of the field to the championship. When they rounded that number, it seemed like 35, but it was actually 35.1. So they rounded up and took an extra guy to the championship. They're not going to do anything that is more on the cheap side or the taking advantage side. They're going to give the benefit of the doubt. Now, again, guys, they're in it for themselves, and that's okay. That's what I would expect them to do. But they're keeping the anglers' issues and concerns parallel to what their concerns are, and I think that's the best that we can ask for. So those are four things. I think the fifth thing, quite honestly, again, in my opinion, is that it doesn't hurt MLF that Bass seems to be doing quite the opposite in a lot of different ways. And so when you're comparing who's on top right now, well, if somebody's on top, then that means somebody's down there. And right now, what Bass is doing isn't making them, stand out in a lot of people's eyes. And so that would be what I would consider to be the fifth reason. Guys, I'd like to know your opinion on this. I personally believe that they are moving in the right track. And by the way, the one thing that I'd like to end this video on is what I would hope happens now is that they just stay on the track. don't make changes. Don't veer off. You are going in the right direction, MLF. Stay there. Keep it on. Keep it going full bore. Don't veer off, because everything that you've been doing, everything that I've talked about, those are the right things to do. Keep it going. Keep it going in that direction. And I think things look really, really good for Major League Fishing. Guys, I'd love to hear your comments about it. I'd also love it if you would share this video, hit the subscribe button, send in your comments. We appreciate that. And we will see you again on Monday for another episode of Mark Fisher Outdoors. Take care, everybody.